Okay, everybody, welcome to my first YouTube video in so long. I think it's been a year. I have been having a discussion on my Instagram page about returns. So first, let's discuss what returns are, and then I have notes here just to make sure I'm covering everything. And then we will move right on to how to deal with them and what to do with them and the problems that they could potentially cause and why you might have to deal with them. Before I get into it, I just wanted to say this is my first YouTube video that is targeted not just to wig wearers, but also to wig professionals. The tips and tricks I'm going to be teaching you for dealing with returns are going to be something that professionals can use, but they're also going to be simple enough to use at home. So let's get right into it. Number one, what are returns? Well, let's discuss. Don't mind my bruised and battered head. Okay, so on a lace top wig, and I have a couple of other videos which discuss lace and why it's different from skin tops. But on a lace top wig, and in fact, on almost any wig, except on a skin top wig, the returns that we're going to be discussing are hiding under the surface. So on any lace top wig, on any hand tied hair, for every long hair in the wig, there's going to be all these short hairs. See that? All these short hairs. And some of them are hiding, and I'll use a comb to bring them out so that you can see them even more defined. There you go. See all those? Okay. And that's why I used white backdrop, dark wig. Okay. So now, when you put a wig on the head, you might see them most of the time. They're not causing you any issues. Dark wig, not so great lighting, harder to see. I'm going to switch to a lighter wig. You can see them more distinctly and why you might want to do something about them. So here we have a common wig brand. Brush it out so you can see this layer of fuzz. You don't see it in the video, but they're there. And rest assured, I can recognize this specific brand walking down the street. I can recognize who's wearing what brand because this specific brand leaves their returns relatively long. There, I'm going to try to push them out. Now, what's the problem with returns? Number one, there's no problem with returns. Returns are, see them? Returns are crucial to the wig. Hair is sewn in a slip knot, basically. Hair is sewn in not by inserting a hair through the net and then knotting it underneath, but rather hair is sewn in by folding it and then making a slip knot with a needle so that for every long hair, you have those short hairs sticking up, right? So here we have our long hairs and here we have our short hairs. See them? Okay, what are we going to do about them? Now, number one, what do they do that's a problem? So hair has to be installed on a wig in the direction in which it grew on a person's head. So when you have these hairs that are essentially, see, this is the direction that it grows on the person's head, and then they're essentially upside down hairs. Everybody knows, maybe not everybody, but a lot of people know that when you install hair on a wig upside down, an upside down hair inserted in between right side up hairs would cause some knotting. So what some clients get, especially as a wig ages, is they get all this, I call it reactivity. Some people call it square head, like SpongeBob SquarePants. Okay, so we have Shatel square head. And usually you can just brush it out. So what are we going to do with it? Okay, now I'm going to be making a separate video on how to trim returns. I am going to include in that video for professionals only. how to trim it, and also what lengths you should have your returns be when you're installing the hair. And that's a whole different subject for a different day. What I'm going to discuss now, the trick that I'm going to discuss now, two tricks actually, that I'm going to discuss now are how to control these returns so that they don't show up. So what we're going to do are two tricks. Trick number one is going to be super, super rocket science, like really difficult, the paper towel trick. This is an unfinished wig, but obviously if you have a styled wig, you're not going to want to put the paper towel all the way to the front of the wig, but we're going to take this paper towel and we're going to use it about an inch back from the part. And we're literally just going to pin it down on either side. So I'm going to take my pins here, 1 inch back from the part, and pin them down on either side, starting from the front. See that? Working my way further back. I'm using these straight pins only because that's what I have on the head. And you see how I'm working from side to side, making sure that I pull the tension. And then in the back, we're going to push this down also, give it a little fold or a pleat. Can't find the pins. Doing this blind. There we go. To flatten the paper towel, we're going to leave this paper towel on the head literally overnight. The reason why I'm kind of rushing through this is because I've done a previous video about paper towel trick. So you can refer back to that other video for more details about the paper towel trick. But we're going to leave this just overnight or only a few hours, because if we leave it for too long, the pins might leave dents in the hair and then you'll have a styling issue that you have to solve. But literally this should help calm any stray returns that are sticking up. If they're shorter, they might stand up. If they're longer, they might be, you might have this fuzz on the side, or you might have, if you were wearing them throughout the day and they were reacting, it might look a little more bulbous. So this might be a great way to flatten your style after your returns have been overreacting throughout the day, week, whatever. You shouldn't necessarily have to do this more than once or twice a week to flatten out your returns. And if your returns are causing more of an issue than that, definitely consult with your professional. So that's trick number one. That's the paper towel trick. The next trick we're going to do is what I call the under over trick. And the under over trick requires literally a blow dryer and a brush, a round brush. So what you're going to do is you're going to take a section parallel to the part. I'm going to use the pick on the end of the brush, or you can use your finger, but literally an inch away from the part, parallel to the part. See, I ended up using my finger. You're going to take this section and tuck the brush. Let's see if we can switch hands here. Underneath the roots. And I'm going to give it a quick blast. Now, I'm going to do this first without the blow dryer running so that you can understand and hear me. But we're going to basically place the blow dryer on the other side, give it a quick blast, constantly moving the second I turn on the blow dryer, because I don't want to have a big square dent in the middle of the head. So I'm going to do it quickly now. I'm going to turn on the blow dryer, take my section, stick my brush under, and from the second that the blow dryer comes in contact with the wig, just quickly move. And what we essentially just did now is we made the hairs, the short hairs, just a little rounder, a smidgen rounder, not round enough to make it blow up off the head, but just a smidgen rounder. We took those ends that were sticking out and we made them a little rounded under. So that's the under part of the under over trick. So we put the brush under. I'm just going to review. Put the brush under, blast it for a few quick seconds to turn those hairs under. Now we're going to switch the brush to over the hair and pull it, slide it a little further down, and blast the blow dryer again for a quick second. And what that did was essentially blasted all of these returns. Look at that. Okay. It's like so much more obvious when you do it like this. Blasted all these returns to under the surface. So now it's very hard to see with this wig because it's a lighter color and my lighting is not great. But now all those returns are hiding under the surface. Take a look at that. See, this is the side we didn't do. Look at all those crazy returns sticking out on the side of your head. And this is the side we did. Nice and smooth with all the returns. You saw them. They're there. They're just hiding under the surface now. Okay. And so what you'll do is you'll do this one section on this side of the head, one section on that side of the head, and then you can take a small section in the middle of the back of the head and do the same thing. Under, blast with the blow dryer, over, blast them through from the surface to underneath the surface to effectively hide them. Spread out your hair and you'll be done hiding your returns, controlling your returns, whatever you want to call it. Okay. But your returns will be much more invisible, much less of a problem. Stay tuned for the next video that will be coming up soon. I made myself a very huge commitment to get this done this summer. And I really hope that you're all hanging out for this. If you are doing your own wigs at home, please, please, please be careful with your blow dryer. I hope to make another video about how to be extra careful with your heating elements and your heating tools. Be careful with your blow dryer and your wig. Any damage you do will be either irreversible or very expensive to change. Good luck. Have a great day. If you're a professional, please, please, please reach out to me for more information on how to control returns. Have a great day, everybody.